Well, thanks for coming out here. I missed my son's hockey game here today.
But
But
playing nearby.
yeah, he's playing nearby. Well, thanks for you guys coming out here on a Saturday afternoon. I want to start off by obviously thanking JT Miller for his time here in Vancouver. Great hockey player, did a lot for the Vancouver Canucks on and off the ice, and it was a tough decision, but I'm happy for JT and his family and wish them all the best. I also want to thank Dan Tanainen, Eric Brännström, and Vinny Dernier for their time here.
So what is your plan now? You've made a lot of changes, obviously, last night. What will you do now? Will you give the group time to play and see how they do, or are you looking to make more changes?
No, I think we got a couple extra players obviously coming in here tonight. We'll be ready for the game tomorrow, and we'll hopefully galvanize the group here. And I thought we had some good games here over the last week, and I think this team has shown when we're playing in the right way and playing to our identity that we're a hard team to play against. And as I said, hopefully this will galvanize and make our team better.
Given that, the improved play, why was it in the end that you still had to trade JT? What was the underlying cause?
Well, I think this was a conversation between myself and JT and his agent that started about 2 months ago. With his health and the environment we had, during the time and during the discussions leading up to yesterday, I felt that he probably needed a fresh start and where he was in his life and in his age and with his family, that this was the best option for him and the Vancouver Canucks.
Based on Jim's comments the other day in the newspaper where he said you guys tried, you thought you'd patch some differences up, if ultimately this was a personality conflict that couldn't be resolved, are there lessons in it for you as a manager and for the organization just to make sure you're never back in this sort of position?
I don't know. I mean, you have 23-man roster, and I've been on teams where there is different personalities. Just face it. I mean, JT Miller is the reason why he's good in the league is that he's super competitive and he's walking the fine line at times. And I also think that he's been dealing with a lot of other things. And I wouldn't just say it's about two players. It's about 23 men. That in a dressing room, you hold each other accountable, and we're not running a country club here. We're running a professional hockey team, and the players demanding a lot from themselves and each other. So it's going to be a competitive environment.
What's the key to making sure that environment isn't just competitive but cohesive going forward? After you lose a piece like that, I think that there could be some fracturing. How do you make sure that it's cohesive in that dressing room going forward?
Well, I think that's up to the players. You're growing in the leadership, and it's my job to create an environment where the players feel safe. And you're building the culture, starting with our prospects in Abbotsford and leading up to the big team here. The growth of Quinn Hughes as a captain during my time here has been impressive, how he's handled different situations. A lot of credit to the coaching staff and Rick Tocchet as well. Obviously, the coaching staff that I have, their experience and what they've dealt with in the old days when Rick and Adam Foote played, I think they would have solved this things outside the ice and dealt with it different ways. But I'm proud what JT went through and what the team have done here. Getting together and talking, and again, winning solves a lot of problems.
Patrick, is your roster better today than it was yesterday?
It's definitely different. I do like the pieces we have added here. Marcus was a key piece for us. We've been looking since the summer, and those type of defensemen is hard to get, and I felt with him there wasn't a whole lot available on the market, and I didn't. A lot of teams ask for young players. Tom Willander, Minio, Kudratsev, Elias Pettersson. I feel that those guys are on their way to the big club, or some of them on their way to Abbotsford. So we didn't want to part ways with our young, good defensemen there. And obviously getting Sheila, Mancini, and Drew O'Connor was big pieces for us, how we want to play and how we want to construct our roster.
Did you work on these two deals concurrently? I mean, it wasn't a three-way trade, but it was kind of a three-way trade. Did you know that you needed the Rangers pick to give to Pittsburgh to get Pettersson? You just talk about sort of juggling the two deals at once.
I think my job is to always be ahead of things and communicate with teams around and see what's available. And I had some ideas what was needed to get certain deals done, and especially with Pittsburgh there, I was aware what Kyle Dubas was asking for, and it worked out that this was the best fit for us doing that deal with Pittsburgh.
Was getting the right conditions on that pick part of it?
It was part of it, yeah.
And so was that something that Pittsburgh wanted to have the right conditions on that pick?
It was our choice to have that condition on the pick.
As a management group, your group has been involved in a lot of transactions since you came on board. Last night was arguably the busiest day as a management group. When you came on board, did you anticipate having to make this much in the way of wheeling and dealing?
I think I, over my time here, have evaluated the team and the group we have, and I think Jim's message early on was that we're trying to retool it. In a deal like this, it was important to get younger players into the organization. Obviously, Marcus has the most experience of those players, but we feel that we needed to retool it, and I think we've been also fortunate to stack up our pipeline with prospects, been able to sign some European and college free agent guys to complement some of the picks lost that have gone out of the organization in different deals. So I think that's just part of where we are as an organization.
Were you able to talk to Pettersson's agent before the trade? Like, do you have a good idea what it will take and how big a priority is it to get him signed and not let him be a UFA?
Yeah, I have not talked to Marcus' agent. We were traveling today. We just exchanged text. It's definitely a priority for us to get him signed. I know that Marcus is extremely excited. I think Jim mentioned that he traded for him previously, and Sergei Gonchar worked with him in Pittsburgh, so there is a lot of familiarities with Marcus here, and he was thankful and excited for the opportunity.
Patrick, with the JT Miller trade, you guys didn't retain any salary on that deal, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So were you able to make that trade with no salary retention because of the increasing cap?
There was never any discussion about salary retention on JT.
Heedle is a really talented player. Hopefully he has some upside beyond what he's shown in New York, but there's been a lot of head injuries in the past. Where do you stand on Heedle as far as the injury risks surrounding him?
Yeah, it was important for us, obviously, to get the medical reports and understanding where he is and what he's been dealing with.
There's been a lot, your team included, some big moves in the last week. 5 weeks to go before the deadline. Do you get the sense, talking to other GMs, that there's going to be a lot of activity, or could it be quiet as you head into
That's a good question. I think there is still a lot of teams are in it, so it's very hard to make moves with the salary and just the roster spots. So definitely picked up a little bit here over the last week, but it's always tough to predict here moving forward.
Patrick, what's your read on Drew O'Connor? Looked like he had taken a real step forward a year ago. Obviously not the numbers that he'd put up, but where do you see him, and ultimately, kind of what are his strengths when he's going?
Yeah, I see Drew as a winger. I know he played a lot of as a center in Pittsburgh this year. Obviously, Talk likes players that can play two positions. Extremely strong skater, good size. He played with Conor Garland at the World Championship 2 years ago, I believe. A really good athlete. So I think he is a guy that you can move up and down in the lineup and bring the speed and the forecheck.
Is the expectation that all three of these NHL guys are going to be in the lineup tomorrow night?
The expectation is that all four of them coming in here later tonight, and it's a coach decision who he wants to play tomorrow. But we have made some roster moves here today, and I think Kiefer Sherwood probably will be a game time decision as well tomorrow.
Is there anything new on Brock Besser's situation?
Well, we continue to evaluate Brock and conversation with his agent. In the end of the day, both sides need to find common ground there, but we'll see where it goes here over the next couple of weeks.
And so much of the discussion about JT has also included Elias for obvious reasons. Now that JT is somewhere else, how big is the challenge to get Elias back to the way he was this first half of last season and earlier?
Yeah, I know that Elias is, again, as I said a couple of weeks ago, committed to do the right things, finding his way to play to the level where we all know that he's capable of, and he shows signs of going in the right direction. I know that he, is doing the extra work that is needed, and I hope that he is one of them that's going to continue to carry on the team and lead the team with the right way, playing the right way, and we need his production here moving forward as well.
Did you and Jim discuss going public with the JT and Pettersson rift before that Mason interview happened? Was that a discussion that you two had?
I think Jim was and is an extremely honest man, so I don't think we needed to discuss it much. That was no secret.
If you reach the deadline and there's no extension with Brock, would you be comfortable with the idea of keeping him as your own rental, or would you feel with an asset of that caliber that you don't want to risk losing him for nothing?
I think it's too early to tell. I think we let's see how the next couple of weeks play out there, but there is definitely that option as well, and we still control him to July 1st.
You have that cap space sitting there. Is that something you're going to try to add a player?
We definitely have more flexibility here now. I think we're going to be a little bit cautious moving forward as well for next year, but definitely will give us more option to be involved if anything comes up here.
Do you have an update on Quinn's health? We saw him look like he was a bit.
Yeah, he finished the game there yesterday. Did not practice this morning, so they still evaluate him, and I would imagine he's a game time decision for tomorrow.
Given the season that Quinn Hughes is having, did that heighten the pressure to make something happen this season, that make those trades and strike while the iron is hot and not let it go to waste?
No, I think it depends here how the team comes together and play over the next couple of weeks here. Again, I think it's going to be a tight race all the way to the end of the year, and our mindset, it's not going to change. I think it's continue to have the next game mentality, which have served this group really well.
Do you feel like if you had made different decisions in the offseason with your defense, with your blue line, that it wouldn't have made this trade necessary, or was this something that was probably going to happen no matter what?
I think, obviously in the off season, there is a lot of things that plays in what's available, what's the cost of it. Once we had set the roster, I think we always had our sight towards potentially finding a top 4 defenseman. The cost and what was available this summer we couldn't get what we wanted, and therefore we constructed the roster as we did. That being said, I felt that when we are healthy, we're a hard team to play against, and that we have shown that against bigger, heavier teams. So going down in the postseason, every round is different, and I think this is something that I talk to the coaching staff, obviously in the off season, and what we would prioritize coming into the season. That being said, when you have injuries of Veronic and Quinn Hughes, who are top two defensemen on our team, puck movers, it made us more vulnerable. And then Forbert had gone through some difficult times off the ice, but again, when we have those guys in our lineup, I think they shown that we're, as I said, hard team to play against.
What's the plan for Mancini? You said 4 guys are coming in. Is he going on the NHL roster? Or?
He as of today, or with the transaction, he was going on the Abbotsford roster. The plan is to bringing him in here, depending on how health of our current roster is, but for the coaching staff to work with him. He obviously played 15 games in Rangers up to this point.
And is DPD staying on the NHL roster, or are you guys going to send him to the AHL All-Star?
I just informed him that unfortunately he's not going to the American League All-Star, so he's a game time decision for him tomorrow.
Fair or not, accurate or not, the JT PD thing, as Ian said, it was kind of, it felt like it, from a perception standpoint, it felt, I think, to the fan base like it was one or the other. Do you worry about the extra pressure or what comes next, even from an outside perception, and how it might affect Elias?
No, I think that's part of being a professional hockey player, and especially when you commit to that kind of contract. My expectation is higher on him than anyone else on our team. And I expect him to meet my expectation, and I expect him to meet his own expectation. And so far, he has not done that. If you talk to him, he's disappointed, but he's aware of it, and I know that he's capable, and he will work at it. I wouldn't say it was one or the other. This was something that, as I said 2 months ago in the discussion I had with JT, we felt for his, as I said, for his health and for the team's best, that this was probably a direction that was needed.
Two more, please. I was going to circle back on that. You said 2 months. Was there something that changed? Was there a breaking point at that?
Well, I think part of it was for JT when he took the leave of absence there, and the conversation that him and I had after and leading up to that, and where the team was as well. That I have a lot of respect for him. I think has been a top player for Vancouver Canucks. So we worked together on this one, and he obviously had the full no move there. So he was aware of what I wanted to accomplish, and him and his agent Brian Bartlett was really good during this process.
Did he request a trade then, or was it a mutual?
This was something that JT and I discussed. He never requested a trade. This was during this 2 months. This was the best for him, as I said, for him and his health and his family, and for the Vancouver Canucks.
How many more Petterssons can you add to the
I was waiting for that one. I couldn't find it. Is there another one in the league?
Not yet. Not yet.
Elias's
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, there you go.
Lucas Pettersson.